think one of the things that some of the new gaming consoles do is present a whole new platform that people are going to engage with in their living room when they're prepared to spend time. So the thing about gaming is you are prepared to spend time with the game. You know, the average time that people spend on a game is 47 minutes. So you're prepared to put the engagement in. Secondly, if you can then offer an experience which may not be on the gaming platform, but is, you know, through another tab as part of one whole ecosystem, if you can put the right experience in front of people, they're then in the right frame of mind to try and go and engage with you. Because the thing about it at the moment is, you know, years ago, like 5-10 years ago, P&G did this survey that said that all consumers get exposed to more than 3,000 marketing messages a day. And these days, you know, there's not just a question of broadcast messages, it's a question of experiences we want you to have. We want you to engage in something that we're doing, we want you to share things socially. So we're asking for people's attention, and people's attention span is probably going down, not increasing. So we've got to try to reach people at the time when they're in the frame of mind, at the time and place and in the right frame of mind, that they're willing to engage. So I think what marketers have to do is to stop thinking about channels and start thinking about people. So in the past we used to think that, you know, TV does a certain job, radio does a certain job, print does a certain job. That's probably still true, but now the number of channels are so vast that you can't really take a channel down approach to the consumer. You've got to think about the consumer and the way he or she spends her time, and think about then what's the opportunity to have an immersive experience. So you've got to think about what's the right time of day, who's the company that I'm with, what do I need to be feeling? Is it when I'm feeling relaxed? Is it when I'm feeling stressed? And then the amount of technology that you can use is vast. I mean, from location-based sensors through to augmented reality applications. There's a vast amount of technology that people use, but the technology isn't the story. And I think what we always try to tell our clients is it's not about the tech. It's not about chasing a shiny object or trying to do something because you've seen somebody else use that platform well. It is about understanding the right time and place and mindset, and then using the right technology to immerse that. It may be high tech, it might be low tech, but the key is to find the right time and place. To be honest, I think there is not as many good examples so far as we would like them to be. I mean, I think it's rather than talking about advertisers, I think, you know, some categories which are doing well. I mean, I think the automotive category has been very quick to realize that people, when they're thinking about cars, need to have an experience. You know, it's not a question of facts and information and awareness. You've got to give them that experience. You know, some of the audio companies are doing that as well, because you can't talk about sound. You've got to feel it, and you've got to experience it. So I think that some of the categories with higher involvement categories that know that consumers need to feel that experience, and the earlier you can get to them, the earlier you'll get into their consideration, and the more chance you have of getting them down to the, you know, getting them for a test drive or getting them down to the showroom or whatever it is. So rather than individual advertisers, I think it's some of the categories. But we do see too many examples, I think, still of a nice tech idea, but it's not sustainable, and it doesn't do anything long term for what that brand is about or how consumers experience that brand. You know, the advances in technology don't change the need for strategy. You've still got to have a strategy that you apply consistently. Technology just gives you new ways of being able to execute that. To be honest, I mean, one of the things that's going to change in the future is, like, when we think about connections to the internet, we start to think about devices, right? We start to think about a mobile phone, about a smartphone, about a tablet, about a PC. And now we start to think about consoles. The thing is that consumers don't think about that. Consumers think about the end experience, and the device with which they get to it is a matter of convenience more than it's a matter of choice. So I think what you will find is a lot of devices that we now think of as separate will evolve towards doing many of the same things. You will be able, I'm not saying you'll be able to run your game off a smartphone, but I am saying that a lot of the ways in which you connect to experiences will be device agnostic, and it's important to marketers to make sure that they are, because the consumer wants a seamless experience across devices, and they don't, you know, in the business we obsess a lot about the device. The consumer doesn't. They expect it to work across whatever they want to use.